Hello and welcome back to your South King County real estate update. Today is August 20th, 2021. I can't believe August is like 2/3 of the way over. This year is going by so fast. But thank you so much for joining me. As always, I am here to deliver your real estate news for the South King County area. So I'll go ahead and jump right into my slides. So what happened this week? So this week, as of yesterday, I had a listing go back on the market. It had gone on the market a few months ago. Got a little bit of interest at the beginning, but then interest kind of died out a little bit towards the end, and we didn't have any offers. So, we got one offer that was below list, and so my sellers decided not to take that one. So my recommendation was that they take the home off the market, fix the roof, fix the painting, put new carpet in, and basically just freshen up the whole environment. And I think it turned out fantastic. I did a little walkthrough tour earlier today, so make sure to check out my Instagram or Facebook to see that. I will get it uploaded to YouTube as well. But it's really cute, and it's 5 bedrooms in Southeast Seattle. So it's a 5-minute walk from Kubota Garden and less than a mile from Lake Washington lake access. So I am super excited to have this back on the market. We have a showing going on right about now, actually, and a few more today. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, as far as what's happening with my home purchase, I will be doing an update probably tomorrow on that as well. There's been a lot going on, so I need to make out a little timeline so I can give you an update of what's going on. So I'll jump back into these slides. All right, so for news this week, I actually have some new coronavirus updates for real estate for you. It's been a while since we've had any changes on this. But as of August 23rd, so like 3 days from now on Monday, the mask requirement will go back into effect. So this is true for offices, listings. Everyone must be masked regardless of vaccination status. Basically whether you're in the office or on a property, masks must be worn regardless of vaccination status. And as far as capacity, there hasn't been any additional restrictions on capacity. So 100% capacity in offices, still no number restrictions on the number of people you can take through a showing or have at an open house. Just everyone has to be masked. So this article came out of the Seattle Met. And Seattle's real estate market is relenting, but for how long? So this came out 3 days ago. So basically the summer slowdown is here. This kind of happens right before school starts each year. Spring and early summer are the busiest times of the year. And then partway through summer, people are like, okay, well, we won't be in the home by the time school starts. So maybe we should hold off. Or trying to fit that last trip in before school starts. So the conversations about moving kind of get put on hold a little bit by a lot of people. The last year, the pandemic threw that all out of whack, and it was summer all year long, like early summer, spring, all year long. It was crazy. And right now we are kind of falling back into the normal like yearly cycle that we would expect to see this time of year. So the Northwest Multiple Listing Service confirms this as well, that basically it's slightly more active than normal during this season as far as buyers, but overall things are kind of slowing down to what we'd expect to see this time of year. And inventory does remain slow. There 10% fewer homes went under contract in King County this past July than a year prior. So we are seeing a little bit of slowing in purchases, but most of that's due to demand. And this quote here, instead of having 15 offers, you'll get 2 or 3, which prior to 2 years ago was amazing. So yeah, there's been a lot of homes throughout the pandemic that have gotten an insane amount of offers. People are just we're really searching for homes. And now instead of like 25 offers or 15 offers, you're getting 1 or 2. But most of them are structured in a pretty seller friendly way still. Yeah, basically I wanted to touch on this here as well. The dip in competition has a clear cause, buyer fatigue. So we've touched on that in the past, and I'll show that slide again in just a moment. But the drop in July shouldn't be really weighing that heavy on sellers right now. Things are still super swayed in the seller's direction. It's a strong seller's market, but and prices are actually still higher, and were higher in July than they were in June. It's just not as many offers on each home, and a little bit of less traffic. And we are seeing a few more contingencies put into the offers. So contingencies meaning like inspection contingencies getting accepted, or appraisal contingencies. We're seeing a lot more of that now than we were a couple months ago. In August, buyers will likely continue to see less competition for them as Seattleites flock to destination areas before classes are back in session. But come fall, if history is any indication, competition will heat up again, and we expect that this will just be a little blip. We are kind of expecting another push in fall that is stronger than what we've seen in the past. There's been a lot of buyers that I've talked to personally or talked to their agents that they're like, okay, yeah, these buyers, they've lost out on a ton of offers, and they're gonna take a couple months off, enjoy the rest of summer, and then hop back on the train. So here's that buyer fatigue slide I've mentioned a few times on the show in the past, but record high median prices, record low inventory, record high percentage sales over list price, low days on market, low mortgage rates, tons of homes pending in less than 1 week. And this is back from April, but this is still a really high number. 19% of homes in April had their appraised value come in below contract price. So the bank came in and said, nope, this home is not worth what you put an offer in for, so we're not going to lend on it. So either the seller had to come down in price or the buyer had to come up with more money. So this is all accumulating to make some really, really tired buyers. They've been losing out, and many of them are taking a step back. As this Redfin report shows, there's bidding wars are easing up in the Seattle area. So there's a Redfin report that came out earlier this week that found 59.5% of home offers in the Seattle area are faced with a bidding war, or were faced with a bidding war in July, down from 71.8% in June. And so that's a pretty significant drop. And they're defining a bidding war as a property that got at least 2 offers. It's still a really intense market. So Seattle's bidding war rate is still up from a year ago, as 57.7% of homes in the area faced a bidding war in July of 2020. So we are up from that, but down from where we were a couple months ago. And Seattle's bidding war rate was lower than that of other major tech hubs like the Bay Area, Boston, and Austin. So I did think this was interesting. There's been a lot of challenges for builders throughout the nation. So housing construction slumped 7% in July. So basically there's just a lot of things that builders are dealing with that they're trying to overcome, but it's making it hard to build as quickly as they normally do, which is a struggle right now because we're still short on inventory. So we could use some new houses. Home construction was down in every part of the country except the South, where homes rose 2.1%. The biggest decline was in the Northeast, but here in the West, we dropped 11.3% on our builds. So we need more houses, and the builders are having a lot of struggles. High costs of supplies, shortages of supplies. I mean, we've talked about the cost of lumber in this show in the past. So but it's not just lumber. It's like a whole bunch of these little pieces that go into building a house are just more expensive or in short supply, and yeah, having trouble producing. But here's some good news. Mortgage delinquencies sink to a pandemic low. So basically there was a whole bunch of people that went into forbearance and weren't paying their mortgage because of job losses or whatever, but the government allowed them to stay in their home with this forbearance program. And it is seasonally adjusted delinquency rate has dropped to 5.47% of all outstanding loans, down from 8.22 a year earlier. So people are catching up on their finances, they're making payments, and catching back up to where they should be. And I thought this was extremely interesting. The decline on delinquency rate for loans for veterans and Federal Housing Administration mortgages, the affordable path to home ownership, was the biggest in data going back to 1979. So it is not just the top tier of homeowners that are recovering. This data shows that those that are not quite as well financially off are recovering as well. So that is really encouraging to hear. And that brings us to our market stat minute. So we had 888 new listings, 1,052 pendings, and 990 sold in King County in the last 7 days. So you can see we're kind of hanging out. Listing pendings is dropping down just slightly. And our new listings did tick down just a little bit from last week. And showing traffic continues to be on like a very gradual decline, but remaining pretty steady. And last week we had an interest rate of 2.87% for our mortgage rate weekly average. And we are at 2.86 this week. So pretty much remaining totally flat. It's a little bit of a balance between concern over the pandemic and the the Delta variant of the coronavirus and how that's going to affect the economy and people's well-being, balanced with really great employment reports, like shockingly so. Unemployment benefits continue to fall. The people applying for unemployment is continuing to decrease. So in that sector, we're starting to see a rebound, or continuing to see a rebound. For our daily mortgage rate, today we're at 2.93. So it's gone up a little bit since Monday, which our weekly average is basically a Monday to Monday comparison overall. So it's gone up a little bit since then. And yeah, but it's not significantly higher. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you about real estate or what's happening in the real estate market in your area. Thank you so much for joining me for your South King County real estate update. I will be right here again next week, next Friday at 3 p.m. So I will see you then. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And let me know if there's anything you have questions about or want to see in the show. I just really want to provide what you want to see. So let me know what that is, and I'm happy to do so. All right, I will see you next week on Friday at 3 p.m. Have a great week.